This is the story they didn't just try to erase. They rewrote it. They carved a lie into stone and called it history. And for over 100 years, America believed it. It was Easter Sunday, April 13th, 1873. In the small town of Colfax, Louisiana, a group of black men, many of them formerly enslaved, gathered at the Grant Parish courthouse. They were not there to riot. They were not there to cause trouble. They were there to defend something sacred, a government they had voted into existence, the first government that had ever asked for their voice. Reconstruction had promised them citizenship. It had promised them freedom. And these men intended to hold that promise with their bare hands if they had to. But freedom, in Louisiana, had enemies. A white supremacist militia, over 150 armed men, rode into Colfax that afternoon. They came with rifles, they came with a cannon, and they came with the singular intention of destroying everything Reconstruction had built. The black defenders were outgunned, outnumbered, surrounded. And when they raised the white flag, when they surrendered, it didn't matter. They were murdered anyway, shot in the back of the head, executed where they knelt, pulled from the courthouse and slaughtered in the open air. Estimates say between 60 and 150 black men were killed that day, Easter Sunday. The holiest day on the Christian calendar turned into one of the single worst acts of racial violence in American history. And then came the second massacre, the one carried out in a courtroom. The killers were charged under the Enforcement Act of 1870. The case climbed all the way to the Supreme Court. United States versus Cruikshank, 1876. And in that ruling, the court declared that the federal government could not prosecute individuals for violating the civil rights of other citizens. Only the states could. In one decision, they gutted the 14th Amendment. They told every white supremacist militia in the South, the federal government will not stop you. And for the next 100 years, no one did. In 1950, a historical marker was placed at the site of the massacre. It did not call it a massacre. It called it a riot. And the white men who died attacking that courthouse, the marker called them heroes. That sign stood for decades, exposed to the weather, exposed to every passing eye, teaching generation after generation a version of history written by the killers themselves. The Colfax Massacre ended Reconstruction's promise in Louisiana. It told the nation, in blood, that black freedom would not be protected. And then it was erased, scrubbed from textbooks, left out of classrooms, buried so deep that most Americans have never even heard the name. But you have now. And that is the one thing they cannot take back.